Welcome to the deep dive. We take your questions, your sources, and turn them into clear, actionable insights. Today, we're plunging into something that sounds, well, almost too simple, maybe. But the science behind it is surprisingly profound. It's the connection between how you hydrate and your ability to get and maintain an erection. You've heard drink more water, sure, but what if it's not just how much? What if it's when you drink, what you drink, and how consistently you do it? That's what seems to really impact sexual performance.
Yeah, and this isn't just, generic wellness advice. This is rooted in actual urology, vascular medicine, hormone physiology. So many men notice changes. Maybe firmness isn't what it was, or arousal takes longer, or things are inconsistent. And yes, factors like testosterone, stress, medications, they all play a role, absolutely. But hydration, it's one of the most overlooked factors, and crucially, it's something you can actually change pretty easily. So we're going to break down how this works, drawing on science from places like the Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, the American Urological Association, solid sources. This deep dive is really about understanding, giving you some power back. No scare tactics, no miracle cures promised here, just the science.
Okay, let's really unpack this then. An erection is fundamentally, it's a vascular event, right? It's all about blood flow, how elastic your vessels are, pressure gradients, and water is essential to, well, every step of that process. So what actually happens inside when your body doesn't get enough water, even like mild dehydration?
Yeah, right. That's the key question. Because it starts subtly, but the effects are real. Dehydration, it literally constricts your blood vessels. Think of your circulatory system like a highway network when you're dehydrated. It's like hitting construction, traffic jams everywhere. It slows the flow. There was a study back in 2011, European Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It found even mild dehydration, we're talking just 1–2% of body weight loss. It measurably drops your blood volume. And it increases something called plasma osmolality. Basically, your blood gets thicker, more concentrated.
Thicker blood, okay.
Yeah, and thicker blood means more resistance. Your heart has to pump harder just to push it through.
That highway image makes sense. And I know erections need really rapid vasodilation. The vessels have to open up fast, right? To fill the corpora cavernosa, those spongy chambers. So if the highways are already narrowed or the traffic's thick, like you said, what does that mean for the actual experience?
Exactly. If the vessels are constricted and the blood's viscous, that quick, full opening it can't happen efficiently. The result, it could be a delayed erection, maybe one that's not fully firm, or one that doesn't last. The vessels just can't open wide enough, fast enough to trap the blood effectively. And what's really fascinating, the penile arteries, they're some of the smallest in the body, maybe 1–2 millimeters wide.
Wow, really? Compared to,
say, coronary arteries, which are more like 3–4 millimeters.
Okay.
So this means even slight issues with vascular function, they often show up there first. It's why ED is sometimes an early warning sign for wider cardiovascular problems. And dehydration directly impacts that flexibility. There was a 2020 review, Frontiers in Physiology. It highlighted how systemic dehydration messes with endothelial function, that's the lining of your blood vessels. It reduces the availability of nitric oxide.
Nitric oxide. That's the crucial signal for vessels to relax and open, right? So dehydration is like jamming the lock.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It makes the vessels less responsive.
Like trying to inflate a balloon that's old and stiff versus one that's soft and stretchy. The soft one just fills right up.
Exactly. Your vessels need that suppleness.
So what's a practical takeaway? How can someone listening check their sort of vascular hydration status easily?
The simplest clinical check is urine color. Look at it throughout the day. It really should be a pale yellow, think lemonade, not dark like apple juice or tea.
Okay, lemonade, not apple juice. Got it.
And frequency matters too. Aiming to urinate maybe 5 to 7 times a day generally reflects good filtration, good hydration levels.
And I guess spacing it out is key too, not just chugging a load at once.
Absolutely. Your body absorbs water best with steady sipping. It's not about flooding the system. Consistent hydration builds that vascular health over time.
Right. It's not instant, but it's foundational.
Precisely.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Hormones. Most guys think testosterone when they think sex drive, erections, and it's vital, no doubt. But you mentioned hydration affects other hormones too, ones that maybe support or even sabotage things.
Yes, that's a really critical piece often missed. Beyond testosterone, hydration heavily influences cortisol, aldosterone, and vasopressin. See, when you're dehydrated, your body goes into like a conservation mode. Survival first. Your brain signals for vasopressin release, that's antidiuretic hormone, ADH. Its job is to make you hold on to water.
Makes sense.
But here's the catch. Vasopressin also acts like a stress signal. It can ramp up blood pressure, and it tells your adrenal glands to pump out cortisol.
Ah, cortisol, the main stress hormone.
Exactly. And at high levels of cortisol, especially chronic high levels, they directly interfere with testosterone production. They lower it.
So it's a kind of domino effect. Dehydration, vasopressin, cortisol, less testosterone.
You've got it. There was a study, Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism back in 2002, confirmed exactly this. Even mild dehydration led to higher cortisol, and that correlated inversely with testosterone.
More stress hormone equals less sex hormone. That makes a lot of sense for why feeling constantly run down or stressed, maybe partly from dehydration, could dampen libido.
Precisely. Your body's prioritizing. If the signal is, we're low on fluids, potential danger, reproduction kind of takes a backseat. Plus, dehydration reduces plasma volume, the liquid part of your blood,
Okay.
which means less efficient delivery of everything. Hormones, oxygen, nutrients. They don't get delivered as well to tissues, including the penis and pelvic organs. It's not just about having the hormones. They need to get where they're needed.
So going back to the delivery analogy, testosterone is the truck, hormones are the packages. Dehydration makes the roads bad, so deliveries get delayed or lost.
That's a perfect way to think about it.
So what can listeners do then practically to support this hormonal balance with hydration?
Well, a simple start. Begin your day with water. Not just coffee. Coffee's okay, but as we said, it can be a bit diuretic. Try maybe 12, 16 ounces of plain water first thing. Get ahead of the game.
Good tip.
Also, think about electrolytes. Don't just focus on water volume. Pair it with foods that have sodium, potassium, magnesium. These help pull water into your bloodstream and keep it there.
Like what sort of foods?
Oh, simple things. Cucumbers, bananas are great for potassium, lightly salted nuts, or even a sugar-free electrolyte mix if you're active or sweat a lot. And just pay attention to your baseline. If you often feel irritable, tired, low libido, check your hydration.
Yeah.
It might be contributing to that cortisol picture.
Right, it's another piece of the puzzle. So, timing and habits. We touched on this. You hear from guys, erections are inconsistent, good days, bad days. Is there an immediate, daily signal related to hydration they might be missing?
Definitely. Your kidneys and bladder are often the first responders to hydration changes. They give you feedback all day long. If you're dehydrated, kidneys concentrate urine, makes it darker. And you pee less often. But here's the thing, that feeling of thirst. By the time you actually feel thirsty, you're likely already 1–2% dehydrated.
Already impacting circulation.
Potentially, yes. Enough to affect circulation and maybe erectile function. The AUA, Mayo Clinic, they stress urine color and frequency as really powerful immediate biomarkers. You don't have to guess.
And how does staying consistently hydrated link to, say, sexual readiness, especially maybe as guys get older?
Well, good hydration means better plasma volume. That supports blood flow, obviously, but also efficient nerve signaling for arousal and more stable blood pressure. As men age, especially past 35 or so, something called baroreceptor sensitivity, which helps regulate blood pressure, can decline a bit. Hydration helps buffer that, keeping blood pressure more stable, which is crucial for getting and keeping an erection.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So for daily monitoring, what's the target again?
Aim for that light yellow urine consistently through the day. Dark like apple juice. Underhydrated. But also, you don't want constantly crystal clear urine either. That might mean overhydration without enough electrolytes, flushing minerals out.
Right, balance is key.
Exactly. And frequency. 5 to 8 times a day is a good range. Waking up feeling really parched, that's a red flag. Nighttime dehydration can definitely impact morning erections because blood volume is lower.
And other subtle signs, like headaches or fatigue.
Yeah, headache, fatigue, dry skin, dizziness. These often go hand in hand with lower libido or sluggish arousal. Your brain needs good hydration just as much as your penis does.
So the bladder is like a check engine light.
Yeah, kind of. If you're ignoring those signals, going hours without peeing, you're asking your body to perform without the necessary resources.
How can someone build this into a daily rhythm then?
Try using bathroom breaks as a trigger. Drink a glass of water each time you go. Use the urine color as your feedback. Did I drink enough since last time? And adjust based on activity. If you exercise, sweat a lot, you need to be more conscious about replacing fluids and salts.
Okay, great practical tips. We've hit blood flow, hormones, but you mentioned another piece, the pelvic floor. That's not something usually linked to hydration. How does that work?
Right. It's often overlooked. But your pelvic flare muscles, they're deep muscles that support your bladder, prostate, rectum. They're crucial. They help start erections by compressing veins. They help maintain them by trapping blood. They control urination, guide ejaculation. They're foundational.
And muscles need hydration to work properly, even those deep ones.
Absolutely. Think of any muscle. When it's dehydrated, it gets stiff, less responsive, fatigues faster. Your pelvic floor is no different.
So like your trampoline analogy earlier, if the pelvic floor muscles are dehydrated, they're like a stiff, unresponsive trampoline. They can't provide that support or control.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Dehydrated muscle fibers lose that supple quality. Research, like a 2008 review in the Journal of Applied Physiology, showed even mild dehydration reduces muscle contractility. It slows down the nerve signals to the muscles, makes them fatigue earlier, especially those smaller, stabilizing muscles like in the pelvic floor.
And what would that feel like for someone?
It might manifest as erections that fade quickly, maybe premature ejaculation because the control isn't there, difficulty climaxing, or even just a feeling of tightness or discomfort in the lower abdomen or pelvis.
And it's not just the muscle tissue, but the nerves controlling them too.
Exactly. Yeah. The pelvic floor is controlled mainly by the pudendal nerve. Nerves, just like muscles, need proper hydration and electrolytes, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, to transmit signals effectively.
So dehydration could slow down nerve signals?
It can slow nerve conduction velocity, yes.
Which might feel like
Delayed arousal, maybe the muscles don't engage as strongly or quickly when you need them to, or even a subtle change in sensitivity, maybe areas feeling a bit numb compared to before. The signals just aren't as sharp.
Wow, that connects a lot of dots. How hydration impacts muscle, nerve, everything down there. So, practical steps for pelvic floor health through hydration.
Okay, first, hydrate intentionally before sexual activity. Sipping maybe 8–10 ounces about an hour beforehand can help ensure those tissues are primed.
Good idea.
Incorporate pelvic floor exercises, like Kegels, but focus on slow, controlled contractions, the muscles you use to stop urine flow. Maybe 10 reps, 5 seconds hold, 5 seconds relax. Build strength and awareness. Avoid letting your bladder get overly full. Aim to pee every 2–4 hours. Overstretching can strain the pelvic floor over time. And again, remember the electrolytes. Balancing fluids with minerals is crucial for both muscle and nerve function down there. Keep that trampoline bouncy.
So we started this wondering if something as simple as water could really help erections. And the answer seems to be a clear yes. Not as a magic bullet, but because an erection isn't simple at all. It's this complex interplay of vascular, hormonal, neurological, and muscular systems. And every single one of those systems depends on good, consistent hydration.
That's the core message. Let's quickly recap the big truths. Erections need good circulation. Dehydration constricts vessels, thickens blood. Hydration impacts key hormones, testosterone, yes, but also cortisol and vasopressin. Your urine is your built-in hydration gauge. Color and frequency tell a story. Timing matters. Consistent sipping is better than occasional chugging. Erections happen in real time. And finally, that pelvic floor. It's the muscular foundation, and it needs fluids, electrolytes, and healthy nerves to work right.
Hydration